Can you hear the scuffling? The baby is currently crawling around on the floor. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today we're going to be talking about books. More importantly, we are going to be talking about books that I've read during the holidays. So I'm just going to start in October and talk about all the books I've read up until Christmas. You're going to see this video before Christmas. I have one book in the works that we will talk about, or actually two that I'll talk about to you here in just a minute. I am still currently in graduate school and have 3 kids. So I think I'm averaging like reading a book a week, which really isn't that bad. But I still wanted to talk about them. That's why I decided to like wrap them up into the three months, you know. This is the books that I've been reading recently. Most of them are holiday themed, some of them are not, but I tried to keep it on theme. So we'll see how good we did this year. Last year I did not keep it on theme at all. I could probably read more vampire books in October given my last haul, but I have yet to do that. So let me pull up my Goodreads, of course. Because once again, with the chaos in my life, that's the only way I've been able to like really keep track of everything. My reading journal is sad right now, and I'm hoping we're gonna have a whole video on 2025 goals, but I'm hoping that next year I keep that more consistent because it is something that I enjoy. Alright, the first book, I feel like I've talked about way too much, but The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. It's very popular. I see it around. I wasn't a fan. I didn't get it. I think that's the problem, is that most people like this book, or like they've been talking about this book. This is a book that people discuss. I personally didn't get it. So this is about a girl who goes to a camp where there was, not recently, like a decade behind of them going to the camp, there was a missing child, and like they're there and someone goes missing, and it's kind of like a mystery thriller. There's a lot of dialogue on classes as far as like rich people, poor people, how we live our lives, what we can get away with, and all of that. That one, like I said, I feel like I've talked about it so much on this channel recently, so we'll just blast through that one. The next one is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I really enjoyed this one. So I did read this one in October, and it did give off very good gothic-y October vibes. This one is about a woman who has magic, and this is currently during, I know it's like, it's in Spain, it's in Madrid, during the Inquisition. So if you don't know about the Inquisition, basically it was I want to say a Catholic movement where they kind of persecuted a lot of people who weren't Christian, and magic would definitely put you in the category of not Christian. That being said, the king at the time in Madrid, I'm going to say king, I don't know if that's correct, but the leader in Madrid hosts like this tournament where they have miracle workers, not magicians, not witches, miracle workers vie for a position in his court, and she kind of gets thrown into it. All right, she's a scullery maid at the beginning, and by the end of it, she is a miracle worker, basically. I love this book. I loved all the little nuances. I loved the atmosphere. I loved the 2 main characters in here, and really it was just like the foreshadowing and the little nuances, like the little things that you have to kind of pick up on, the literary themes, the references to other things in this one. I believe that there's a moment where the main male character hands the female main character a pomegranate and she eats it. And if you know anything about Greek mythology and Persephone and Hades, that was a whole thing that I did miss out on my initial read, which is why it's like stuck in my head. But that was great. So yeah, I actually do I recommend this. I don't know why I wouldn't recommend this. Leigh Bardugo, for the most part, has not failed me. Also, if you hear rustling, that is the baby that I was talking about earlier in this video. She's enjoying herself, a little crinkly book cover. Don't. It's a book cover. I'm gonna let her have it though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage is the next book that I read. This is a cowboy romance. I have been on a little bit of a kick with the cowboy romances. I'm leaning into it because I actually really like it. This is my like recovery from Elsie Silver's Chestnut Springs. Yeah, but this is great. This is so great. If you liked the Chestnut Springs, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and read these books. They're great. The covers are beautiful. I honestly just want to take the covers and blow them up and put them on my walls because they're beautiful. This one is about an interior designer, Ada, and the think the youngest brother in this series, they are renovating a house to be like a guest house, like a, you know, like Airbnb sort of ski resort vibe. And it's like a, I don't know about the tropes in this one. Really, it's just like a, I'm a independent woman, I don't want no man, and he is not quite the same, but the same. Anyways, strong, handsome cowboy, misunderstood, looks to city interior designer to renovate his resort in order to prove to his family that he can like do stuff and be good. And I liked it. I enjoyed it, obviously. I think I rated this one, yeah, I rated this one a 5 out of 5. So to be fair, if you're new here, for me to rate a romance a 5 out of 5 means that there was definitely like an aspect that took it farther than just being like a very fun romance. There had to have been some sort of connection that I had with the characters. Probably the independent woman who don't need no man was one that I kind of connected with and then found love. But anyways, there's always like another aspect to it that kind of like makes it more. All right, now in November I did start reading some Christmas romances. This is new for me. I'm not a Christmas romance girly, never have been, so I tried to get into it this year. I started with The Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese. Yes, Leese. I didn't like this. I think I DNF'd it. I don't remember quite why I DNF'd it. I think it was just because of the writing. I think I wasn't driving. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I did DNF it. I actually did finish this one. This one was like Mr. Frosty. You think I'm referencing Hot Frosty? I'm not. Mr. Frost was like a co-worker with her at a bookstore, and they kind of had to compete. He's like the numbers guy, she's the aesthetic atmosphere guy at this small town bookstore. They kind of clash, but then they kind of get together. It's very cutesy. Definitely have to go in it not taking anything seriously. It's kind of supposed to be like a, it's not quite at Hallmark level. That's why I didn't rate it a 5 out of 5, because I read a book that was like at Hallmark level. It definitely got a 5 out of 5. This was like a 3. It was okay. It was readable. It was listenable. But I definitely wouldn't like recommend it too highly or like want to read it again or like put it on my shelf and be like, I love this. Alright, the next book was The Plight Before Christmas by Kate Stewart. I loved this one. This one was great. The only thing that was a little out of pocket was smutty scenes, and the only reason I think that they were a little too much was because I didn't realize that Kate Stewart also wrote this series. And it's a dark romance. So she's like, this was a little weird because we had a lot of fun comedic moments. The family was hilarious in this book. The banter was hilarious. The background of these characters was great. Loved every aspect of it besides the smutty parts, because the smutty parts were like here's all the fun rom-comedy Christmassy vibes, and like the smut was up here. Like, I was like, where did this come from? Why are we talking like this? Why are we referencing sexual organs in this way? But it's probably because this author writes dark romance. Didn't put those together until like halfway through the book when we had our first smut scene, and I was like, wait a second. But that's probably why, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I guess. If you want like Christmassy vibes with this hardcore smut scenes, there you go. It wasn't really my jam, to be honest with you. But I think it still got like 4 out of 5, only because I really liked the family aspects. Like, the main character goes home for Christmas and hangs out with her family, and it's just hilarious. You have older sisters, younger sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, like teenagers doing like, it's just very, it felt very reminiscent to me. It felt very like nostalgic, and I liked that about it. So yes. The next book I read was Wild Love by Elsie Silvers. This was a good one. It was okay. It's not level of Chestnut Springs. I get where people are coming with that. This one's like single dad romance, friends to lovers. Liked the atmosphere, liked the couple. It just didn't quite do it for me. Like I said, for romances to be 5 out of 5 for me, I have to have some sort of like personal attachment to the characters. I have to be able to like emotionally be there with the characters as they go through this romance and like the self-discovery process that most romance books have. If not, then it's gonna be like a 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5. It's not gonna be 5 out of 5. which I think is fair. All right. We'll probably read Wild Eyes because this Wild Eyes by Elsie Silvers, I believe, is about the bad boy brother. And like, I'm into that. So that is what I think I'm definitely gonna put that one on my TBR. Now, the last but not least one that I've read is The Will of Minnie. It was fantastic. 5 out of 5 stars. Literally anything that you want in a fantasy, it has this in there. There's beautiful writing. There's a fun setting. There's interesting character dynamics. There's also a very interesting premise to the entire book. Basically, the magic system is based off of will, which sounds crazy. Magical aspects in this book are really interesting. Basically, they draw out the will from people and use it like a power source to fuel their own. It's almost like a telekinetic sort of magic. You can imbued, what is that word? Imbued? My brain's not going to let me say that word. Items with magic, and they do things. Like track people, or magnetize, or explode. But, interesting magic system. The main character is so interesting and intriguing, mostly because we're kind of getting like this chosen one trope. The main character, you quickly find out, is a prince from a royal family that was basically destroyed by the current hierarchy, and he's kind of undercover, kind of living the low life. He's pretending to be like, well, he's an orphan. He's an orphan in the city, right? And he's kind of just making his way through life, not really looking for any trouble. And they kind of get like the chosen one trope where this guy from the hierarchy, from like the ruling class, adopts him in order to put him into a school where there's like this tournament. And like the school is also very cutthroat. Lots of politicians and like high class members of society to send their kids there. It's cutthroat because there's only like so many positions that you can have as jobs. Very intriguing, very interesting. Loved all the aspects of it. But basically he gets like thrown into like this tournament, and it kind of becomes like Hunger Games. Absolutely insane. It reminds me also of like the Maze Runner, because there's like this labyrinth that they run. Loved it. Anyways, got off topic. It's kind of like the chosen one trope, but our main character doesn't want to be the chosen one. He just wants to survive. He's not looking to throw the hierarchy. There's a rebellion group that tries to recruit him, and he's like, I just want to live my life. Can you please leave me alone? Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked the main character. I liked his little friend group that he kind of develops while in this academy. The political intrigue was really great and really well done. Like, it wasn't hard to follow. The only thing that was hard to follow, to be fair, was the names. Yeah, that was a little rough. Not gonna lie. Buddy read this with Jess, and it was kind of rough. Buddy read this one, and the names were definitely very hard to remember and to write. Autocorrect did not like them. But that is what we read this holiday season. I'm currently reading Babylonia, which is an arc I got from NetGalley, which I will talk about later. So far, so good. And we are also reading the Book of Witchings, which is also, I'm only 50 pages in, and already I think I'm going to like it. Wish I would have read it in October, but I had other things to do. So we're reading it now in December. Already getting very intriguing, spooky vibes. Little dark foreshadowing. There's already gore and murder. So we're there. That's it. That is all the books I read during the holidays. I wish I could say that I read more, but once again, life happens. And it's happened. It's happening. But that's where we're at right now. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and comment. Tell me what your favorite holiday Christmas romance is. If you read Christmas romances, I need a list, so that way next year I am much more prepared. Secondly, tell me your favorite holiday book that you've read so far, or book during the holidays. It doesn't have to be a holiday book. I'm over here reading like dark fantasy during Christmas time, so it is what it is. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. Not too many books have been read, but really good books have been read, to be fair. Anyways, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, listening to me ramble about books, incoherently ramble about books. I appreciate you. Have a lovely holiday. Bye.